Yippee-ki-yay, melon farmer.
Hey, welcome back, melon farmers, knife nerds, and everyday care people. It's your boy, the Big Canucker, and we have got ourselves a look at a trio of traditionals that I think are absolutely gorgeous. I am not a traditional knife collector, and I have to say I am kind of ignorant on the history and I know some stuff. I mean, of course, I love bladed things, but they're just there's so much to know about these traditional knives, and I know that I'm going to get something wrong in here. And if I do, please be kind in the comments down there. Just tell me what I made wrong, what I did wrong, and what I said that was wrong, and I'll try to correct it in the old dub melon. And then from that on going forward, I'll have that knowledge. So let's have a look at these. The other thing I want to say about these all three of these knives are for sale too as well. So I just decided, hey, what the heck? I ended up buying myself kind of a little bit of an expensive one that's going to be hitting the tabletop here pretty soon. And I got to pay for it, and hopefully I can pay for part of it with these three. Okay, so what we have here is we've got a couple of trapper locks, and we have ourselves a GEC. But let's have a look at these trapper locks. These trapper locks are gorgeous. They are one-handed openers. They're also liner locks, which is very interesting. Normally when I think of traditional, I think of kind of slip joints. And Case makes a pile of slip joint knives. These ones here happen to be a couple of one-handed opener liner locks. And I'm going to guess that these are somewhere around 20 years old. They've both got I think they've got 6 dots on them, or 5 dots, or I don't know. Well, this is XX, and this one just says Case on it. Does it say? It says XX at the bottom too. I am so ignorant. I know that you guys have got a way to tell me exactly. Somebody out there is going to tell me this thing was built on a Thursday in like 1991 or whatever, in a plant in Boise, Idaho, or whatever. Somebody's going to know all that kind of stuff. I just happen to not. This one here, they're both 6154Ls. Now, I believe that is the L stands for liner lock, but this one happens to be true sharp surgical steel, or this one happens to be chrome vanadium. They're both gorgeous, and I'm going to say these are a little over 3-inch blades, just a smidge over 3-inch blades. Let's just see here. The closed length is 4.18 inches. This one here happens to be a trapper lock, liner lock, with the saw cut jig bone. Now this one here saw cut bone. This one happens to be a jig bone, I do believe. They've both got the nickel bolsters, the nickel brass bolsters, as well as the brass liners in them. They both got liner locks. This one here happens to have these saw cuts on them. I just think it's gorgeous. For some reason, this one here is just a tiny bit thicker than the other one. I don't know if it has to do with just this kind of bone, but they're brass. They're both brass pinned. And I just think it's gorgeous. I love these shiny blades on them. I love the feel of them, especially. I mean, they're sharp as heck, and like I said, these knives, these are probably over 20 years old, each one of them, and they're in wonderful condition. I mean, they've got some fine scratches in them, and that's just kind of the way it goes, especially with kind of older cutting materials. Now, this one here happens to have the Case double X shield on it, where this one here happens to have like the difference. Now, if you can tell me what the difference between these two shields are, is it just this one comes with this kind of more of this bone, or this one comes with a jig bone? If that's what that is, I would like to know. Give me a little bit of a lesson down in the bottom, in the description or the comments, and hey, I have no problems learning a little bit. Now, both of these are for sale from the best. I'm going to give you guys a pretty smoking deal. I'm going to probably go with something like $75 and $70. That's Canadian, so if you're an American, it's a little bit less for you guys. And I'll ship these out to Canada or the States. It's good. They're going to go snail mail. If you want to pay for a little bit of extra shipping with tracking on it, I got no problems with that. Also, if you're outside of Canada or the US and you would like these, I get no problems. I'll ship them around the world, as long as you're helping me out with the shipping, and it's not that expensive. I shipped some knives out to Iceland, and it was like $13, so it's not a crazy amount of money. Now, the third one I've got here is a GEC, a Great Eastern Cutlery. This one happens to be what's called a Titouet Ben Hogan lockback. It is, let's just see, it is the number, it says, I think 61 651112, and I'm sure there's a model in there like model 65 or 63. I just did not kind of go crazy delving into these. I kind of got a little bit of kind of some description on it, so I just wanted to make sure that if you happen to know what the model number is there, leave it in the comments. But as far as I know, she's about a little over 8 inches. It's got a 3.55 inch 1095 carbon steel blade. As you can see that this one has got a patina put on it already. Now, I think this thing came with a fairly shiny blade on it. But this one here, it looks like somebody has kind of did a mustard patina on it. But you know what? Hey, it's a pre-owned knife. It's had some love. It looks like it's been used. It looks like it hasn't been abused, but it does need kind of a cleanup. You know, and I was thinking of possibly cleaning this up myself. I just decided, you know what? I need to kind of make some time to get some video shots. So this one's going down the road along with these two. I do believe this is a Cocobolo wood or a chestnut. Of course, it's got the brass pins, the nickel brass bolsters, as well as the brass liners, and it is a lockback too. And like I said, it does need to be cleaned up. This has been this one here was made in Titusville, Pennsylvania. I do believe that's what that is, Titusville, PA, the Tittuit Cutlery Company. Now the GECs, as far as I know, the GECs were a company, or GEC was a company, the Great Eastern Cutlery Company was a company that took a lot of the old shuttered knife making equipment that was, 100+ years old, and they brought back using some modern, quality control and modern manufacturing techniques, and they rebuilt a lot of this knife. So as far as I know, this is the same knife that you could get, 100 years ago from Titusville. And you know what, if they were using these 100 years ago, then hey, they were having some pretty fun time. Now the walk and talk here, I guess it's good. It's not overly forceful like some of the Great Eastern cutleries out there. I had myself a bullnose sodbuster that I could barely pull the darn thing out. It was horrible. And I pulled it out one time, multiple times, and I had my thumb pad kind of caught inside there, and it pulled so hard that it snapped back in and it cut my thumb. And man, oh man, when a knife bites you, sometimes all it does is just PO you, and you want to get rid of it. And I got rid of that one. So that one here, I think I'm going to do $170 Canadian. So we got 70, 75, 170. If you want to buy all three, send me an email, and we can make it ourselves a little bit of a deal. If you want to buy any of these, give me a YOLO in the description, into the comments downstairs. First YOLO gets it, and then send me an email at thebigcanucker@yahoo.com, and we can figure out the shipping. We can figure out how I get paid. We can figure everything else from there. I hope you guys enjoyed having a look at this. I apologize, I'm not super knowledgeable about these traditionals, but hey, it's a little bit of eye candy, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please stay safe out there. Keep your stick on the ice, the shiny side up. That's the Big Canucker saying adios.